Hello everyone, I'm ExtraCheesy87 and this is Let's Play Trails Through Daybreak II Part 13. In the previous video, we finished up our exploring of the Treon Tower area. Went into Treon Tower, also we met with Toa, that was pretty cool. And some other people, but mainly Toa. And now we know kind of where we need to go. Somewhere in the Blacklight District, an extra super secret area of the Blacklight District that has been there the whole time, but we just never mentioned it before. Also a side quest. Real side quest or monster?
What's on the menu?
Someone approached me at the Treon Mall a few weeks ago and asked me if I was interested in buying a super cheap tPhone. I said yes, of course, and then I found out it was a scam! Please tell me you can do something about this. I mean, I guess. Do I want it? I don't know, man. You know what they say, it's immoral to let a sucker keep his money. Are you Ned? We saw you're a 4SPG. Also, I mean, come on, brother. Your name Ned and you're going around getting scammed? Like, that's a disservice to all the Neds out there. They've already got it hard enough. They're already named Ned. You can't go out there embarrassing their name even more. You must be the Spriggan I've been hearing about. That's right, although we're actually just filling in for the real one for a bit. You mean I can't even get the real Spriggan? Oh, it's another L for Ned. I'll be honest, I was expecting someone a little more shady looking. Glad you're not, though. I mean, they're actually more shady than Van. Have I seen you somewhere before, miss? Don't mind me, I'm not actually a Spriggan. I just lend them a hand every now and then. Anyway, would you mind explaining your request in a little more detail? Oh yeah, sorry, let me explain. I guess to put it simply, I was swindled out of Mira. Some guys came up to me saying they had cheap tPhones on sale with just a few stipulations. tPhones, those are the consumer grade versions of Zyphas that act as mobile terminals, right? Yeah, I mean they're kind of like phones, but they got like a T in front of them, you know? Didn't they start selling them this year? That's right, they've been all the rage since they went on sale. It's supposed to be a top of the line gadget. Up until now, mobile terminals have only been available to people like government officials or people in the guild or the military or small children. But now even your average Joe can get one. It's like we've stepped into a whole new era. A tPhone is like a status symbol. If you manage to bag one, the whole world will know how classy you are. You sure are passionate about them. Guys get psyched up with the weirdest things. Okay, sugar girl. Well, anyway, that's what I was so excited to head to the Vern store to pick one up. But a single tPhone is pretty expensive. They're like 20,000 Mira. I mean, that's not that bad, all things considered. You know, just don't eat lunch for like a year and then you'll have one. That's way out of my price range, so I was starting to feel pretty bummed. We're not even really that long. Just don't eat for a month and you can get a tPhone. It's simple. That's when I left the store. These two guys approached me. They showed me flyers for cheap tPhones and said I could be hooked up with one for $5,000 with only a few stipulations. When I asked if they could tell me more, they took me to a nearby cafe to talk. So someone came along at just the right time and talked you into what you thought was a good deal. But what were these stipulations you mentioned? Well, okay, so I had to take my pants off, and well, the first thing they said was that even though these cheaper tPhones are official products, they got them from a problematic source. They were supposed to be distributed to members of some institution, but these guys ended up getting them on the down low. On the down low? So you're saying as they were sold illegally. Sounds like a deep-seated issue if that's the case. Yeah, okay, but like, despite all that, they told me not to worry because it was like a gray area. It was like so gray, it was like, you know, the night right before the sun starts to come up. Whatever the word for that is, you know? But I did happen to get out of the police or the guild. They would have had to stop selling them. They told me to keep the truth between us. They also told me that if I happened to break on me, or that if it happened to break on me, I couldn't take it to an official dealer. Those are the two main stipulations they had. They wanted me to sign a contract and everything. I see, if there really was a gray area, you'd think they'd be a little less hush-hush about it. It definitely sounds suspicious. I'm guessing you ended up signing anyway? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was told they only had a limited supply and they were on a first-come, first-served basis. I panicked, you know? But the real problem is what happened next. The tPhone they sold me doesn't even work. It's a complete piece of junk. It doesn't have the camera functionality it's supposed to. I can't even get a call to connect properly. I see. That's the very model of a scam. I mean, I feel a little sorry for you, but you kind of brought this on yourself. So, what do you want us to do about these scam artists? Public execution. The thought of them getting away with this while I wallow in despair is a big bruise on my ego. And while I do want me to get raked over the coals for this, I really just want you to get all my mirror back. I think you'd get both of your wishes if you reported this to the police. And yet you decided to put out a 4 SVG request instead. I know what you're trying to say. I get that it's selfish of me. Here I am wanting to get them back for swindling me, yet I'm not willing to accept the consequence of my own mistakes. I don't think it'd be such a big deal. Everybody looks out for number 1 in the end, right? Except for me, because I always put S first no matter what. Well, now we've added a certain doll to the rankings. Brother. Getting back to the matter at hand, this certainly sounds like a request that leans more towards the edge of the law. So what the substitute Spriggan like to do about it? Whoa, fucking dramatic close-up. I don't mind taking on the job, but what to do? Yeah, sure, whatever. Alright, I understand. We'll take the case. As far as giving them grief goes, that'll depend on their response to us. You mean it? Oh, thank you. Well, with that said, I guess I better drum up what little motivation I have. Do you still have the flyer you said they gave you? I got the tPhone at least. Here, you'll probably need it. Wish I had the flyer, but actually ended up throwing it away. And then it's going to turn out actually it does work properly. He was just using it wrong. It wasn't a scam. They were completely on the up and up. Nothing they said was a lie. Well, the first thing to do is to gather some intel on these guys. Right, they don't seem to be in the area right now, so we should be able to ask around without worrying we'll scare them off. In that case, why don't we head to the Vern store and see if anyone's seen a pair of scammers around. Maybe we should check in with some of the neighboring shops, too. And make sure those guys aren't selling brand name knockoffs of other products, right? Exactly, you're so smart-ass. It's important that we get a good idea of how widespread their operation is first. Although it's likely they're not doing this with anything other than tPhones. If we're worried about other potential knockoffs, the Liberal Boutique seems like a likely target. After all, they're said to stock a famous wine from the borough, the Grand Chardonnay. A single bottle can get pretty expensive depending on the years. Damn true it can, sister. You might have to end up playing the piano for the rest of your life to pay it off. I guess we better get started then. It's probably for the best we don't tell people we're investigating swindlers, though. Don't want to cause unnecessary panic. Let's just stick to asking if they know anything about cheap tPhones. Alright, I'll wait around outside the mall till you guys reach out. Don't want to risk running into them again, you know? Who knows, they might scam me again. Well, we'll let you know what we find.
Let's wrap this up quickly.
Alright, quickly. Quickly. Speedrun record, let's go. Stop getting stuck on stuff, Nadia. We're in a hurry. We're in a hurry. Where's the door? Where's the door? Oh, God. We're already behind our split. Ah, shit. I hit the wrong button.
1 sec.
This lady seems really taken in by this stuff. Guess she's really into Orbital hardware. I bet she knows something. Excuse me, miss. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions? Nadia and the others told the lady about their investigation into heavily discounted tPhones. Maybe she means like the ones that were on that paper, Mom. Oh, you mean the flyer we got after we left the Vern store? These 2 men came up to us out of nowhere and started trying to sell us something. You got a flyer? Is there a chance you still have it on you? No, I tore it up after copying the info down. They kept on going on and on about how there was a reason they were able to get their tPhones so cheap. I thought it was a little too suspicious. I refused their offer before they could explain any further. And then I kicked them. Hard. Too bad about the flyer. That was probably the smart thing to do. Is there anything else you can remember about them? Now you mentioned it, they did seem a bit worried about something when we left. Something about not meeting today's quota and her being upset with them. ... A quota and her, huh? This could be useful information. We have 2 men passing out flyers trying to talk people into buying these tPhones. And some authority figure they refer to as her. Thank you both, you've been a big help. It was no problem at all. I hope you find what you're looking for. Let's keep asking around and see if we can learn anything else. Next stop, here we come. What do you know, you little fuck? I'm on to you.
One sec.
This lady seems a little easier to approach than some of the other clerks. If you got a moment, do you mind if we ask you a few questions? Swan and the others told her about their investigation. Cheap tPhones? Sorry, I haven't heard anything about that. I never really heard any other employees mention it either, so I doubt they'll know anything. We have a pretty good view of the area from the shop too, but I've never seen anybody putting up flyers or anything like that. You don't say. Sounds like they're being extra careful so they don't get caught. Guess that means they're not amateurs. What about tPhones that don't work? Heard anything about that? Oh, actually I have heard that recently. That's a bit concerning. Would you care to elaborate? Well, I guess it's not really that big a deal. For most people, the tPhone is their first mobile terminal. A lot of them can't figure out how to use them correctly or have trouble adjusting their settings, and they'll come in and say it's broken. Most of the time they just need a little walkthrough on how to use it, then they're on their way. Even if their tPhone was actually broken, we'll be able to repair it here in the store. I see, I see. In that case, do you mind taking a look at this tPhone for us? Of course, let's have a look-see. First things first, you gotta pay the 5,000 mirror consulting fee. Huh, what is going on with this thing? Did you find what's causing the problem? This is actually the first time I've ever seen anything like this. The outer frame is the same as any other tPhone, but the insides are totally different. It's not a tPhone or a Zypha at all. It's an Enigma! It's like it's had all its combat functions removed. All that's up for the communication functions. An Enigma. Haven't heard that name in a while. I remember them being pretty mainstream 5 or so years ago. Oh, how times have changed. Even if it does have communication functions, there's no doubt it'd be difficult for it to connect to today's mobile network. And it doesn't have the camera functionality. It's practically nothing compared to an actual tPhone. Our client said something similar too. This tPhone was a, quote, piece of junk. With the Enigma being such an outdated model, they're probably selling for cheap on the black market. So they dressed them up to like tPhones and started selling them at a lower price. I don't really understand what's going on, but it definitely sounds like bad news. I should probably go report this to my manager. Sorry to ask this of you, but do you mind keeping this between us until we can finish investigating? We can't really give you anything in exchange, but I'll promise to report back when we've got everything straightened out. After that, you can tell everyone and anyone what you want. Well, I guess I don't mind. I am at least a little familiar with how the Spriggan works. You've been real kind to Lashkar too, so I think I can trust you guys. We really appreciate it. Have we been kind to Lashkar, Nadia? Thanks for being so understanding. I mean, I guess maybe back when they were in the village originally, because we haven't really talked to Lashkar. Just give us a bit and we'll be back with a full report, okay? Of course, I'll leave you to it then. What's our plan now? I think we should take a nap. Let's see if we can find someone who might know about those 2 scam artists. That tPhone's really just an Enigma in disguise. That's definitely not normal. As an engineer, I can't let this slide. If only I had a diagram for the thing. Just saying, it too good to be true. I mean, something that's usually 20,000 Mira selling for only 5,000? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be the scammer lady. That's my initial assumption. If we're going for like a recurring character to be the,
Good news, everyone.
or the smuggling lady. Be our criminal overlord. I can't think of any other people who it could be if it's going to be a recurring character. Whoops, wrong button.
One sec.
The mall has a lot of shops carrying high-end goods. We should go check and see if any of them are experiencing a scam similar to the one with the tPhones. Sorry, can we bother you for a moment? Swin and the others told the clerk about their investigation. Unfortunately, I don't believe I know much about cheap tPhones, and I haven't heard anything regarding scams on the high-end products either. The only product of ours that would be a potential target is our Grand Chardonnay. And I don't think we've had any complaints or returns though, so I doubt we have any reason to worry there. Sounds like the store isn't being targeted then. Or you're the mastermind. Yeah, swing and a miss. More like a swin and a miss, am I right? But for a silver lining, I guess we know that there's only one shop that's having issues. Well, now that I think about it, there has been one thing I've found concerning. Recently, I've seen a couple of men posting flyers out in front of our store. And all it seems a little suspicious. I noticed them sometimes on my lunch break. Can you give us any more details about them? I started seeing the two of them around the beginning of the year. I haven't seen them today, but they're here pretty much every day from afternoon until evening. I often see the two of them discussing something while snooping around by the Vern store. They seem to be handing out their flyers to people on their way out. I assume they've been discussing who to target before they leave the store. That's actually some really useful information. Wow, you sure are pretty observant for having caught all that. I don't think your average person would think twice about what some guys handing out flyers are up to. On top of that, you're so refined and well-spoken. Not quite as stuffy as an aristocrat. Being so detail-oriented almost makes you think you used to work as a maid of someplace super fancy. I mean, maybe she... I honestly don't remember this lady. Maids? I mean, there's... What's her name? I don't really remember, but I know there was the maid for the child mayor. But I don't think this is her. Do you always have to do that? You're very perceptive. If you're capable of deducing all of that, I assume you must be no ordinary customer either. That's right, when a mystery presents itself, I got no choice but to try and solve it. It's all part of my detective saga. Who do you think you're fooling? It's no problem. It's not as though I'm looking to hide it from anyone. I used to live in the borough. I worked in a city called Bose that was famous for its commerce. I really don't remember you. I mean, like, I remember the maid character, but I don't remember their backstory. Or was there a two? I'm trying to remember. Because there is a side story in Sky 3 with them, right? I think. That gives them a backstory, but I do not remember it. Like with the relationship between the girl and the maid or something. Or maybe that's just a regular side quest in Sky 2. It's not there. While there, I was a maid for a gentlewoman who supported me quite graciously. In fact, opening up this shop was her idea in the first place. Oh, really? It sounds like the person she's referring to isn't just any noblewoman. Now that I think about it, isn't the mayor of Bose a young woman? I've never been to La Burle before. Maybe I'll think about taking a trip soon. If you have the opportunity, please do. I think it would make for a lovely holiday getaway. I think we've got all the info we need. Let's go find a place to sort through the details. Aye aye, Captain. Sure did talk to lots of people. What a productive day. Well, I guess we should turn it in and continue the search tomorrow. Alright, why don't we pick this up tomorrow and go catch a movie? I know we had first movie break, but what about second? Let's work to the curb, and get a little guilty pleasure in for once. You've sure got an interesting sense of humor. Hey, your mouth says interesting, but your eyes say I'm not amused. I think those eyes say I'm very amused, honestly. That's enough goofing off, I think. We should start going over everything we've learned. To start, we know the two men who were handing out flyers have been spotted between afternoon and evening. We also know they were specifically targeting customers who they saw expressing interest in tPhones. That would sweet talk them. Then they would sweet talk them into purchasing a cheap tPhone as well as signing their contract. The phones themselves are fakes. They're really just modified enigmas. Also, that boss lady the scammers are working under. We're probably gonna have to make contact with her sooner or later. I agree, which raises the question of how we're supposed to do that. I know we have one good option, but I'm a little reluctant to go down that route. Hehehe, I don't think there's any getting around it, S. Do you two have something in mind? I'm glad you asked. I recommend we deploy Nana and S's Operation Number 18, ma'am, using a decoy to lure the perp out. I see. That would be a good way to probe them for answers. I don't mind doing it if we really have to. It's just... You know how rusty I am, so try and keep the premise from getting too elaborate, okay? Your request has been acknowledged. In fact, I've already got a plan. Blade Lady, you'll be our backup, so I want you to wait in the wings not too far away. As for you, SO, maybe we should get some new outfits in that shop over there. I'll put together a look that'll really bring out your eyes. Considering we don't know when the targets will arrive, I don't think I have time to waste shopping. S, you're no fun. Should I really be letting them handle this on their own? After that, Swin and the others found an appropriate place to wait for the 2 men to show up. Then, after 10 minutes or so... I'm so happy it's been far too long since you have I been on a date, hasn't it? So, what are you gonna buy me today, darling? This isn't time to be embarrassed, Swin. Right now you just need to focus on getting your targets to believe we're a real couple. Him. Well, since the company my father manages is doing so well, I think a little splurging can be arranged. He increased my allowance recently, so I figured, why shouldn't I buy myself something extra special for my honey bunny? Oh, that sounds exciting. What were you thinking of getting me? It's something that's been on my mind for a while, actually. Wouldn't it be nice if we could talk to each other anytime we wanted? That's why I'm buying us both tPhones. Oh, darling, you're the sweetest. I have more than a few concerns. They seem to be doing okay so far. Welcome, you shopping for tPhones today? Weren't you guys just in here, like 4 minutes ago? Yes, my girlfriend and I would like to buy a pair. Let's just have a look at the price tag here, and 20,000 mira each? That's 40,000 mira for both of us. You would use up every bit of my allowance. You mean you're not gonna buy me a tPhone, darling? I was so excited about it too. I should have known better than to expect you to live up to your word. You creep. Wait, I promise I'll get you one, honest. Maybe I can pay in installments? Is that an option? Why, of course, sir. Installments? Like some kind of poor person? Come on, darling. I thought you were cooler than that. The fuck? I'm in a real fix now. If only 2 shady people could walk up and save me. There's no way that fucker heard any of that. Hey, there's a young couple checking out the tPhone section. What are they like? Easy pickings is putting it lightly. They wanted to buy a set of tPhones, so said they couldn't afford it. Want to start with them for today? And I was so excited too. You break all your promises. I don't want to go on any more dates if you're just gonna lie to me. You peasant. I'm sorry, honey bunny. Don't say things like that. I'll get some more allowance to my father next time he's in a good mood, I swear. My, what a lovely young couple you are! I think we might have just have some info to share that'll pique your interest. This is very sudden. What kind of info? What's this? Cheap tPhones now on sale? They're all the rage? That's right. We're offering them at a highly discounted rate to specific customers only. While one of these incredible devices would normally cost you 20,000 mira, we can offer you the same product for a lowly 5,000 mira. 5,000 mira? No way, they have to be used or defective, right? Not at all, these are genuine, brand new merchandise. However, there's a reason we're able to offer them so cheaply. We'd be happy to explain it to you over tea if you'd like. What do you say? Just between us, our supply's limited and our inventory's running pretty low. Don't know if you'll get another chance like this. How lucky for us. Let's listen to what they have to say, darling. I suppose we should. Looks like they've made contact. Keep it up, you two. Anyway, that's the long and short of it. Even though our source is a little in the gray area, it's all completely safe and above board. The only issue we've been having is trying to keep up with demand. Personally, I think it'd be a real waste to let this opportunity slide, so... You interested? We really should buy them, darling. Like he said, there's a limited supply. Having to sign a contract does make me a little nervous, though. Ah, don't worry. It's not like your average contract with all those bells and whistles. The only thing you have to do is keep all this secret. I can't believe they're this cheap and you still won't buy them. You're such a wuss. Fine, I've made up my mind. We'll take 2 of them. Actually, we'll take 4 more. We need them from our Honey Bunny's friends, too. That's 6 in total. Are you serious? Of course I'm serious. That's 30,000 mira and I insist on paying in cash. You really are the best, darling. I love when you get all spend happy. This is great. That'll make our quota for today. Once you get the contract signed, let's head back and report this to the boss. Soon after Swin signed the contract, they provided and received 6 tPhones in return. What about the money? Upon saying a quick farewell, the two men left Quincy Parlor. I'll go tail them. You two handle the rest, as discussed. Thanks, Elaine. Seems like they bought it. I'm definitely out of practice. Well, I thought you were as good as you've ever been. So you're saying I'm bad, like always. You just need a bit more time in the field. Maybe another couple of dates will fix you up, darling. Oh, stop. Thought I was gonna keel over in embarrassment. Anyway, let's get to inspecting these tPhones. Couldn't you wait a little longer to switch into work mode? You're right, though. We should be sure these are those same scam phones. Same scam tPhones that the client bought. Remember correctly, the lady at the Vern store turned this part like this and... Initiating self-destruct mode. If the insides look like what we saw back then, well, no, these are enigmas too. Seems like he was right. The client was telling the truth after all. Yeah, let's find a lane and see if we can catch up to those guys. Swin and Nadia left Quincy Parlor and reached out to Elaine. They let her know that the T-phones really were fakes made using enigmas. Elaine explained that she was still in the process of tailing the two men. The plan to meet up Swin and Nadia boarded the subway and headed to the Tyrell District. I see you made it. The men are over there. They were whispering about meeting their quota and going back to report to their boss. I was sure they'd been heading back to their hideout. Yeah, sitting out in the open sure isn't much of a hideout. I guess that means we gotta keep following them. No, no. Don't tell me you're gonna start complaining again. I am. We still got work to do. You have plenty of time to rest later. But I'm tired now. You two sure are pushy. They're on the move. Let's head after them. Let's not. Follow the two men. If you get too close, they'll notice you. Guys, if you'd done this in 2008, I would have been, you know, it'd be whatever. But like, I thought we decided following minigames were not fun, like almost 20 years ago.
3-point heat. Now playing in the theater near you. Take wing and soar up the court. And blaze a trail for those who follow.
Blaze a trail through Daybreak II. Because like really the only game that gets a pass for following minigames is like the very first Assassin's Creed, because they were like super novel back then. And even then, they were so overused that everyone was like, actually these suck, don't ever do them again.
I've got some delicious ice cream.
The story of blood-stained Earth, and of how a young band of soldiers
They're not lost. Hush. They're right there. Stop saying they're lost. They're not lost. I seize them. Don't you dare do a fucking 180. Oh god. It's a fake car. It's a fake car. It's a fake car. I'm hiding? They'll never see us. By golly, who could have guessed they're going to the sewers like all the criminal scum?
This cutie has booty.
What? Those doors lead to the Tyrell District's waterway. Waterway? Come on, Elaine. Didn't you get the message? We're not calling them that anymore. We'll probably get into some scuffles in there. I guess I don't mind pitching in to help. Alright, let's corner them before they have a chance to escape. There's a chest, apparently. I didn't notice the chest earlier. I didn't even know we could go in there. And that's how we managed to hit today's quota early. It is a old lady. So with that said, we've been working this area for several days now, right? I think maybe we could take the rest of the day off? Why not? If you already hit your quota for the day, may as well pack it in, right? But you know what'll happen if you do, don't you? What are you getting at? You're right, it's important I be more straightforward. I have no shortage of others who are willing to put their nose to the grindstone for me. We're sorry, boss. We weren't thinking, boss. We know how you run operations like this, boss. We got nothing but respect for you. We'll keep working past our quota, so please, don't replace us, boss. Is that so? Well, if you're so passionate about it, then I suppose you better get back out there then, shouldn't you? Of course, boss. We'd be glad to, boss. Whatever you say, boss. Sounds like textbook labor exploitation to me. Hey, you're those love-struck schmucks from earlier. Man, say that 5 times fast. You followed us? Yep, that's us. Love-struck schmucks. Now, bow before our romantic chemistry. And there's also Elaine, who I guess she sits in the chair. Stop that. Would it kill you to know the schmucks bit? We're here on business from a client that you defrauded out of his Mira. Are you a spigot or something? I'm surprised I don't recognize your faces. I see you brought an A-rank bracer along with you. Just what do you intend to do with us? A-rank bracer? I didn't realize it before, but that's Beauty's blade. Damn, you were working with those two all along? Just so we're clear, I'm not actually here on bracer business. I also can't very well ignore an infamous counterfeiter and her accomplices. I filmed your entire conversation earlier on my Zypha, not my Enigma, as evidence. You have a client that wants his mirror back. You know mirror you swindled him out of. What do you think, Miss Sweet Old Lady? Mind handing it over without a fuss? Every single fucking time. Don't get uppity with me, you little brats! Stalking other people and taking footage of them without their permission. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. There it is, her world-famous tongue lashing. My ears can't take it. Gee, sure loud. And where do you get off lecturing us anyway, you old bat? I'm guessing that means you're not going to agree to our terms then? You think you won just because you brought an A-rank bracer along with you? I've gotten through scenarios like this more times than you can count. You really think y'all wouldn't be prepared for this? Zombie robo attack dogs, go! Come on, boys, it's feeding time. She tamed those monsters? I don't think so. Their movements are erratic compared to wild monsters. I bet she just messed with their brains. She must have embedded a device for receiving command signals or something. I remember seeing a report on a similar case in documentation we got from Van. I think it was about how Zect Arms modified monsters so they could use shard skills. Tell me fucking Van even wrote that. Like, how much did he write down? And how fast did you guys read it all? I bought these pups from Zect Arms. They're trial-enhanced military monsters. Get in there. Teach those damn brats a lesson they won't soon forget. Yeah, we're on it. Heh. Oh, she's got her 2 kids on her side. We got monsters. Unless it turns out those children are the true monsters. Even Beauty Blade is no match for these odds. That might be true if these are actually just any kids. Also, Elaine, you can't call yourself an A-rank bracer if you can't take out 2 goons and 2 dogs. It's fine by me if they don't know what they're up against. Just means less effort on our end. At least it saves us time spent arguing. Let's take them down. Okay, how much HP do you guys have?
Just try and take me.
Fine, let's play.
Oh no, you're already dead. You just don't know it yet.
Silver?
We can win.
Well, you're not quite dead, but you're pretty close.
What to do?
Keep it up, Nadia.
Seriously?
Oh god.
You're screwed.
I won't show any
Dang,
mercy.
I put the controller on the desk and that was some serious rumble action.
Damn it!
Arr. I didn't think they'd be so strong. I mean, it makes sense for her, but these kids are a nightmare too. Well, that wasn't much of a fight. How about we, now we decided to deal with Come on, you nitwits! You remember what we planned, right? Right. Got it. Run away! What the? You're kidding. They're really gonna make a run for it after all that? I have heard she's known for her speedy getaways. I guess it's true after all. Not that I intend to let her go, of course. Let's move. Oh, and then they'll get attacked by a monster? And that'll be like a real fight, maybe? No? Okay. They suck at running? How is it just us that got caught? There's no way the boss could be that fast, right? You better see to catching that woman, okay? Maybe monster's still on the menu. I suppose I don't mind taking care of some old biddy. Leave this one to me. Oh no, she's gonna like... If you trip her, she will die. She's old. I guess those two idiots already got themselves captured. As long as they're still ground beneath my feet, there'll always be somewhere left for me to run. I'll just go find another region to hide until things blow over. I know you really like talking to yourself, lady, but you might want to watch where you're going. What is this? I almost got turned into a bunch of little meat cubes. The jig is up. Turn yourself in. Damn. Fine. How about this? I'll give your client back all his mirror. In fact, I'll pay his fee for hiring you too. I'll even pay back every single mirror of the 30,000 we took from you two. Good deal, huh? We can put this whole thing behind us. That doesn't sound too bad. But unfortunately for you, Spriggans aren't in the business of making friends with villains. Plus, I believe our client specifically asked us to give you a what for. Swin, Naughty, and Elaine took Megisa and the two men they captured back above ground. He was forced to pay back the 30,000 mira Swin had paid earlier. Where did Swin get this 30,000 mira from, by the way? You holding out on me, fucker? You got a rainy day fund I don't know about? They then called up their client to help decide how best to deal with the captive counterfeiters. You guys are really something. Can't believe you even caught the ringleader. Sounds like she's pretty famous for this sort of thing. Should we turn her over to the police or public execution? You fool! Hand us over to the police and you'll be found guilty too! That's why I offered to return the mirror in exchange for letting us go. What would he be found guilty of? I mean, I guess he signed the contract, maybe? But... I mean... They're not stolen goods or anything. If that's too hard for you to swallow, then you can forget about ever getting a single mirror back from me. What an attitude. You don't even feel the slightest bit regretful, do you? Refunding his mirror wouldn't be enough to absolve you of all your crimes anyway. I refuse to overlook what you've done. The original request did ask us to rake the culprits over the coals. Given our clients here at the moment, we should probably let him decide how to deal with them. How to deal with them, huh? Any suggestions? The guild could always turn them over to the police for you. We've been well aware of this woman's extensive criminal record for a while now. Getting her off the streets would be a most optimal solution. Plus, I'm fairly certain we could talk the police into bringing even more severe charges against her. You can do that? Actually, now that I get a good look at you, aren't you Elaine Auclair, Beauty's Blade? How's it feel to be famous, Blade Lady? The real issue is what comes after we turn them in. The guild is responsible for prioritizing the safety of civilians. It's our duty as bracers. Given that you are a victim of fraud, we should be able to push that angle to the police. Either way, we'll make sure they understand that you weren't at fault here, Ned, and that you needn't be interrogated. That being said, however, choosing to bring this to the police doesn't guarantee you'll get your money back. Especially considering none of the other victims have filed for damages. Exactly, but keep in mind this option does mean they'll be punished to the full extent of the law. I see. Though, if you're not totally sold on taking them to the police, you do have another choice. Take them to Treon Mall Security Detail. Security Detail? Ah, I know you mentioned. I do remember Valis having some security guards on their payroll. Wait, does that mean the security firm is affiliated with the Marduk Company? That's right. Let's just say I've been doing a little research on them lately. You see, Marduk regularly connects new data on criminals so they can use it to improve their systems. So instead of turning them over to the police, the security team will probably just make use of them back at headquarters. Alright, so, you know, send them to the police or send them to a fucking PMC black site. Alright, yeah, that seems like a decent enough punishment for fraud. Make use of us? What does that mean? I've heard rumors, but I didn't think Marduk would go that far. If we do go down that route, the security firm will probably compensate us for their negligence. But if you do get them over to Marduk, they'll be back on the streets when they're done with them. Also a high risk they'll reoffend. Now, I think they're gonna be, like, lobotomized at Marduk. If we're being completely honest, I don't think they'll ever see the light of day again. There's a high risk they'll reoffend. I don't think I can personally recommend that option. I mean, she's gonna show up again later anyway, right? As a reoccurring character. No matter what we do, this lady's getting out. Hey, we shouldn't be trying to influence his decision. Those are my options. Guess I got a few things to think over. To be honest, I'd be satisfied with either option. I'm struggling for which one to pick. Mind telling me what you think? You're asking me. Well, I think each approach has the pros and cons. Secret option circle, public execution. Public execution. Honestly, I'm kind of like 50-50. I mean, I think the guilds may be a little better, but I don't know. We already gave them to the police before, and they didn't do shit. I don't trust them. So go to the Marduk mines. If it were me, I'd hand them over to Marduk. It would mean putting profit over justice. Yeah, but like, I see. I made up my mind, then. I don't feel great about it, but I'll go with your opinion. You get the 5,000 mirrors pocket change next to the real thing. It's not, I mean, it's not pocket change compared to the real thing. It's still a lot of money for me. I'd be in much better shape if I could get it back. Yes, yes, let the greed flow through you. I guess it's decided then. Marduk, I'm not too familiar with them. Anything's better than the cops, though. Thanks for going easy on us, kiddo. We're not going. This is the harsh option as far as I'm concerned. Ugh. You might change your tune once you see what they have in store for you. Yeah, Marduk's got all sorts of experimental tech. They might even use some of it to probe your brains. I'm sure whatever data they get out of you will be useful for a good long time. You're joking. It would have been better off with the cops. Don't go getting yourselves all bent out of shape over it. She's all talk. I mean, they are a kind of an evil corporate. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can't call them evil yet, but if they turn out to be evil, it would surprise literally no one. I don't think Marduk would go that far. They're gonna extract your brain and put you into another fucking robo-maid. The criminals in tow, the three headed to the Voss investment bank of the Trion Mall. Using the video footage Elaine had taken on her Zypha, they explained the counterfeit tPhone situation. A security guard with the Marduk company listened to the entire account. Very well, I understand the situation. While we are primarily with bank security, we cannot let crimes committed in the mall go unpunished. And you're correct about Marduk company currently gathering data on criminal activity. Please accept this 5,000 mira to compensate you for your losses. In fact, I'll also pay you an additional 2,000 for your cooperation. Wow, that much, thank you. Hey, I could use 2,000 mira. If you don't mind, we'll handle them from here. I'll make sure they're processed accordingly. What do you mean, process? What's gonna happen to us? Treat your elders with respect, young man. Touch me and you'll get what's coming to you. The group watched on as Megisa and her accomplices were hauled off. Having left the trio in Marduk's capable hands, the case finally came to a close. Now, this is a long-ass side quest. It's like one of the longest side quests. Glad that's over. Thank you all so much. I never would have thought to turn them into Marduk's security team. I'm just glad it went over like Nadia thought it would. Even I was impressed with your ability to think up something so unconventional. Aw, I wasn't expecting getting a compliment from Blade Lady. Just be careful not to get swindled next time. You kinda come across as an easy mark. Right, I guess I should be more careful. After seeing Ned off, Swin, Nadia, and Elaine decided to go back to investigating the orbital network
Quest
Completed.
completed.
Reward deposited.
You'll give me them sweet chaos points. Van gets a present? What the hell? A blue vacuum vase or flask that's so effective it even preserves bubbles in carbonated beverages?
Gotta treat myself every now and then.
I mean, that makes it sound like he bought it for himself. I mean, I guess it's
Welcome to the
their Arkrod Solutions funds, I suppose, even if he's not the one making the decision. Alright, I guess we'll pop over to Blacklight.
Well then, shall we?
No, actually I wanted to turn in our quest, see if we can get a rank up or so. The same day, 11:17 p.m. Blacklight District. It's been a couple years since the last game here. Oh yeah, I remember Van leading us through the back way. This is our first time strolling in loud and proud like this. I must be talking about when Van rescued them from their pursuers. I had a feeling you might be familiar with the area. Yeah, 13th District operates outside the law, so you won't find it on any maps. Just think all the ways you could take advantage of that. Let's not say things that can come back to bite us. I'm aware, of course, the two of you are capable of taking care of yourselves, but nevertheless, try and avoid poking your noses where they don't belong. We hear you. Loud and clear, wouldn't want to stir up any trouble. By the way, the coordinates point to the perp being on the other side of that gate. I see, that must be the entrance to the condemned sector. Okay, at least it's like... I'm a little bit more okay with it being behind the big suspicious-ass door. Can we just walk right in? Because I did, you know, I found it a little eye-rolly to be like, hey, I know you've been to this place like 8 times, but there's a super secret area that nobody's mentioned before. I mean, the gate did seem kind of suspicious, I suppose. I don't see why not. It doesn't appear to be sealed off. It reminds me, you know, the gates in the underground of Final Fantasy XII. Let's head through as soon as we're ready. In the kind of like slum type area of that game. Alright, before we talk to anyone.
Here I go!
We should at least be able to get 1 rank up.
Close the books on another case.
Or not. Fuck me. Haters. You're all haters.
Let's be on our way.
Okay, we'll do a little talking.
Whoa! There's so many neat-looking shops here.
We didn't get to peruse this place when we were here 2 years ago. I'd like to look around.
You can acquire all sorts of goods here, including illicit ones. If you aren't careful, some of these
What the fuck are
peddlers
you
will
doing?
swindle you. You two should be fine, though.
I don't think Swin will ever get swindled. Welcome, welcome. Care to try one of our specialty herbs? We have a few mixes that can give you a satisfying high without the negative impacts. Ooh, sounds nice. You're saying I wouldn't have to worry about getting addicted? Taylor, she's got a pretty good selection, too. If I could intervene for a moment, these products may be within the letter of the law, but they are not for children. Please give... Yeah, okay, you know what's also not for children? Being fucking kidnapped into a murder cult, alright? Yeah, it's not like we meant to use it for ourselves anyway. It'd be for our interrogation tactics. It can also be pretty useful in fights sometimes. It doesn't hurt to have some on you just in case. That's a whole other issue in itself. We can look, but only for a little, alright? They may be underage, but it looks like they're well aware of how we do things down here. I know they'll put my products to good use. You know, when Almano was still spreading their wings, there were a lot of dangerous drugs going around. Thanks they've all been destroyed by now. That means more sales for me.
Now, what might you be after,
None of this is suspicious. This is shit I could buy at the supermarket.
I'll be seeing you.
The crowds are really starting to pick up again in the Blacklight District. I guess everyone heard Almada's gone, huh? We got all types down here. People who are living on scraps, people who got tired of their 9 to 5. I know a lot happened last year, but everyone's doing their best to move forward. Makes you happy to know the bad guys failed. Sure made my new customers happy too. Well, then the substitute Spriggans I've been hearing about. See, you joined up with Beauty's Blade as well. Almost makes me think something interesting is going on. I haven't joined up with them per se, not that I need to explain that to you any further. However, if you have information for us, I might be persuaded to do so. My, such a tough young lady. Fortunately, I don't believe I have anything that can prove useful to you, unless you want this cool lamp. Look at it, it's kind of like a flower. Blacklight District's a big place, you know, there's a lot I don't hear. I see. I get the feeling he's telling the truth. He means the way we're investigating issues with the OrbitalNet. Did we say something that gave us away? Maybe he's just good at reading people.
Ho ho! Got a great lineup at great prices. Come again soon.
Great
Ho, ho.
prices.
Got a great lineup at great prices. Come again soon.
Things have gotten much calmer around here with Almighty gone. That being said, all the riffraff they kept in line have started stirring up trouble again. All these rumors of a legacy, it's hard to tell who's responsible for what. Either way, I don't know much about the current happenings.
Let's go.
Welcome. Aren't you? Whatever you need, I'll do it. Anything for you, miss? Who the heck's this guy? He's one of the most famous weapon dealers in the Republic, in the underground at least. He's been aware of me ever since he was made to cooperate with the Bracer Guild. I don't think there's some threats involved. I mean, it's a little weird seeing someone look so meek in that mask. I'm giving this guy 13 points. You can't just randomly... Nadia, stop stealing my shit, alright? Going around calling people, you know... like, word associated with them lady. You're giving out points. That's my thing, alright? You're talking about how you don't want to work. You can't be sure his weapons are trustworthy. You'll get a lot of use in this shop. If you ever find yourself heading to the condemned sector, it'd be a good idea to stop here first. I can give you some good deals too. Why don't you take a look? Actually, I recently started offering the same services workshops do, you know, like Zypher repair. Hard to speak of them like normal with this mask on. Maybe we should take a look. You two are from the Gardens, aren't you? Oh, I'm surprised you could tell. I mean, it's been a while since we were involved with them. Your weapons gave it away. They're exactly like the ones that hit the market after the Gardens were destroyed. A special blade and some assassination needles. I actually got some in stock right now. I always make sure to keep them well maintained. Why don't we take a look? I see. Never thought I'd be able to get spares again. I kind of like that. Because I think I've joked before about how it's funny they have like special upgrades for all the weird and wacky weapons the crew uses. No kidding, this place is great. Now, while we can also buy those weapon upgrades at the, you know, general store, you know. Because actually we bought our... Didn't we buy the weapon upgrades in like, at the bazaar basically?
Please stop by again. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
I don't know, the evasion might actually, I don't know, the 100 HP or 6 evasion.
Please stop by again. Well, please stop by again.
I mean, I'm trying to talk to you. I got a wide range of clients, so sometimes I need to deal in smuggled foreign goods, items to the military, stuff like that. I actually got a whole catalog. Why don't you see if there's anything else that interests you? Oh wow, you got everything from daggers to anti-tank rifles. And you accept custom orders too. It says here you've got a battlefield delivery service. They look like they just found a new toy. It's what makes them look more their age. Alright, I think that's a pretty good place to call it. Next time we'll finish up the Blacklight District and head to the condemned sector and get presumably fairly close to wrapping off this section, this first section, before we switch back to Van and friends. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.